All right, everyone, welcome back to the 2019 MIAA Football Media Day at the Kauffman Foundation Conference Center in Kansas City. Today's Media Day is presented by Seigfred Bingham, Kansas City's full-service law firm of choice for privately held companies. Thanks to our media here today and our fans at home watching on the MIAA Network and Midcoast Sports in northeastern Kansas. Please remember to check out our student-athlete interviews taking place live on the MIAA's Twitter, at the MIAA. Fans watching at home can submit your questions for our coaches and student-athletes via Twitter, at the MIAA, and please use the hashtag AskMIAA. If your question is selected, you will receive a prize from the MIAA. So it's my pleasure now to introduce you to Emporia State. They are being represented by head coach Garin Higgins, Callins, and Jace McDown. I would ask now for Coach to provide us with any opening statement. Take it as long as you'd like, Coach.
Yeah, this is my 13th year, going on my 13th year, and still very honored and humbled not only to be the head football coach at Emporia State, but also to be a part of the MIAA, which, again, to me is the best Division II conference in the country. I think you can tell that just by being here today and continuing to see how things are ran in a first-class way. Want to thank Mike Racy, our commissioner, and also Phil Laurie, who does an outstanding job being the commissioner of our officials. So again, excited to be here. Excited to get started, as everybody is at this time of the year. Always the media day kind of sets everything off. As far as Emporia State, our football program, going into this year, we got a little bit of momentum, just based off kind of how we finished last year. We won, kind of got off to a rocky start, ended up winning 6 out of our last 7 games, ending that with a bowl game win in the Corsicana Bowl. So I always think that gives you some positive momentum moving forward. Now, how our players have continued to build upon that throughout not only the spring. Now, they did a great job in the spring, but also in the summertime. Summertime to me is the most important time of the year because that's when I truly believe leaders are developed. Just because, and I think it's really good because everything that you're doing is player led. Going into this year a little bit uncharted territory for us. We're going to be replacing a very good player in Braxton Marstall at the starting quarterback position. We lost a lot of production offensively, the most production since I've been there in my 12 years. But at the same time, I think going into this year, we have the most experience coming back on defense since I've been there at Emporia State, which I think is going to be huge for us. And I think, I believe in what we're doing defensively. And to me, they're going to be the strength of our football team, especially at the beginning. And hopefully that continues to carry on throughout the course of the season as, we may have some growing pains offensively, just getting started off. But really excited about the year. Again, as I said, very honored to be a part of this league, this conference. There's a lot great coaches in this league too as well. So ready to get started.
Absolutely. Does anyone, at this point in time, I'll open up the floor for any questions for the players specifically. If you have a question, please raise your hand and we'll bring a microphone to you and state your name and the media affiliate, if you don't mind.
Greg Ray, KFFX Radio Emporia. This is for Kai. Getting ready for, what is this, we won't say how many seasons, but for what you've been through, the number of injuries that have forced you to miss some playing time, how special is this season going to be to you?
It's very special, It's like you said, I've been around the block a little bit, had quite a bit of adversity, and, I'm finally fully healthy, really ready to show what I can prove. I've been laying this back up for the past few years and got huge shoes to fill. But yeah, I'm very excited.
You'll be, as far as skill position goes offensively, you are the most experienced guy out there. What can you tell us about about the younger guys.
And he's the oldest too, Greg.
That goes along with
foot.
age, the experience aspect. What can you tell us about some of the younger guys who are going to have to fill the roles that have been vacated by the Landon Notes? Of course, you're going to help fill that role, but as far as, even the receiver spot.
We're very talented. Yeah, we're young. But as far as the young talent that we have, especially at receivers, a couple guys coming in, I mean, we're going to be very talented. I know they're hungry, ready to prove what they can do, and they're probably tired of hearing Justin Brown's name by now. But, they're ready.
John Dykstra with the Maryville Forum. Coach, just to follow up on what Kai just said, do you kind of sense that chip on this team's collective shoulder with all the talent you guys obviously lost last year, but all the talent coming back, that they might be getting slept on a little bit?
Slept on?
Yeah.
I don't know. We play with a chip on our shoulder regardless. Whether we got 10 starters back on defense, 10 starters back on offense. That's just who we are as a program. That's our identity, and I believe that's part of the reason we've had success is our players are out to prove something. And, I think that if you have a program that is successful, that even though, like offensively, we have a lot of new faces, but I think the guys that played before them that showed our younger players how hard you have to work, how good of a teammate you have to be, how committed you need to be, and how much you need to care about the football program moving forward, then hopefully those guys, when they step into those roles, there's going to be some growing pains. But hopefully by learning from those guys in front of them, they have that opportunity to be successful. Now they're going to have to go out and do it. And then defensively, I think you play defense with a lot of pride too. And I think our guys coming back, with as much experience, we have 9 out of our top 10 tacklers are back. I think those guys are going to play with a chip on their shoulder because they understand the opportunity that they're going to get with us having to replace so many different players on offense, that they're going to get that opportunity to show that they're going to be the leader of this football team.
This is for Jace. As Coach mentioned, 9 of the top 10 tacklers back from last year's team. You're one of those guys. What is it besides the experience aspect that makes this defense and could make this defense a very good one?
I think we have a lot of guys on the defensive side of the ball that play with a lot of passion. We have a lot of guys that play with a lot of energy. I mean, we have a lot of Gary's class. There's 3 or 4 guys that I can think of off the top of my head that are big energy guys. They bring it every day. I mean, we have a few guys in my class as well. So I think that's what we use as our fuels. We bring energy, we bring passion, and I think that's what we'll bring this year to make us different.
For Coach Higgins, the question you've probably been answering the most today, what about the battle at the quarterback spot? Who's going to, or has that been determined yet, who's going to be your starting quarterback yet?
Well, and in all my years, Greg, you know this too, that anytime there's a position open at that spot, it's always been the way that I do things is to not name a starter until at some point during training camp. I would have to say Dalton Cowan is definitely the leader in the clubhouse, as far as going into camp. He was the backup last year to Braxton, and he did a great job. Matter of fact, he came in for one play against Fort Hays State, the defending MIAA champs, and threw a 54-yard touchdown pass. And I think just that one play alone gave him a lot of confidence. All 3 of our quarterbacks, Braden Gleason, Patrick Briningstool, Dalton in the mix there, those guys understand the type of players that we have had at that position that has come before them. And they work extremely hard and are really committed, and they're like a sponge. They want to know everything about what we do offensively. And they put forth the effort to be the best that they can be. And I always think it's important too, when you have a quarterback competition, to let camp start and see how everybody has kind of progressed from the moment we got done with the spring game until sometime, once camp starts, kind of see how much progression they've made throughout the summer. And before summer starts, as the quarterbacks, they all meet with me and we go over the things that they need to get better at throughout the course of the summer. And at the end of the day, it's on them to take that ownership to get better. So again, that's why I won't name a starter until training camp.
All right, this question is for five-star Jase McDown, returning MIAA leading tackler as well as team leading tackler. And a lot of people don't know that you did that on a bad ankle. And so can you kind of talk about your offseason preparation and kind of how you tend to, I don't know, move on past that?
Oh, yeah, I didn't get to do spring ball because I ended up having to have surgery. But it wasn't too serious. So after that surgery, I just rehabbed it every day. I mean, I was in the training room probably 2 hours a day every day during season. So, I mean, it was just trying to get it strong enough to where I could play every game. And then in the off season, I got surgery and then I rehabbed it. So, and then we're here. So, I mean, all summer it's been great. So I'm just trying to get back to 100% and get my, speed back to where it was. That's the thing that I'm getting back right now.
And my next question is for Callins. As we all know about your road, battling with your past injuries, yet you still find a way to prevail. Can you kind of talk about what's kind of pushed you through that?
Definitely my faith being first off. With any type of injury or traumatic event that may go on in someone's life, they got to fall back on something, and for me, it was my faith and my support system. Because I know through anything like that, I mean, if you don't have a good support system, you're not going to get through it because you're going to start playing mind games. So definitely, guys on the team, family, even people that's not on the team anymore, definitely helped me get through it, always being positive and just kind of always knowing that I'm going to be back.
Jace, the last couple years, you guys have returned so much on the offensive side of the ball that at an event like this, we were always talking about the offense. Is the defense kind of with all your returners on that side kind of take it upon themselves to set the tone, especially in the early going this year?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're returning our 3 defensive captains from last year, so we've kind of taken it upon ourselves to be the big leaders, to be the guys that bringing the energy every morning, to be the guys that are pushing everyone else, to calling on people out when they're not doing things the right way. So we've definitely taken that upon ourselves. But, I mean, we know what Coach Higgins has done with the quarterbacks and with the offense when they're new. So we're not really worried about we're not worried about what they're going to do. So, I mean, give them a couple games, play our best first couple games, and we know they'll be rolling.
Any other questions for Emporia State? All right. Well, guys, thank you for coming and spending a little bit of time with us. Thanks for your representation at MIAA. You guys do an awesome job. And you ending with a victory at the Corsicana Bowl, it has to propel you for a great season, and we wish you all the best. And Jace, you represent SEK well. Keep it up.
Thanks, Zach.